Hey, it's Greg here with Outdoors on the Jeep. Hiking back into a remote spot to do some fly fishing today. And just thought I'd give you a view of what I'm looking at, 'cause it's just beautiful here. This is a part of Nova Scotia that kind of, for anyone from like Newfoundland, would kind of look very familiar. It's all granite rocks and sort of scrubby little spruce and pine trees and that sort of thing. And low bushes and mosses and stuff like that. Anyway, just thought I'd share the scenery a little bit. Oh yeah, it's just we're up high right now. We got some of these nice big old rocks. I was hiking with my kids. I go up on top of that big one there. And it's just rocks. This is all sort of like glacial land where it's got rocks sitting on top of rocks that nobody put there, right? And they've been there a long time. Kind of an ancient landscape in many ways. And I'm heading to a lake way over there where a river runs into it. So maybe I'll take a couple more shots of the nature on my way in, but see how she goes. See you in a little bit. All right, look at this scenery. You can see why ancient people believed in giants and beings like that. You've got these huge rocks just sitting on top of other rocks and not knowing about geological time or glaciers or anything like that. You'd think, how could a rock like that get put there like that? Right? It's just wonderful walking through terrain like this. You know, again, it's not the Rockies, but I love it. My goodness, look at this spot. I mean, I'm sorry for the wind, but I mean, I'm pretty high up, that's why it's so windy, but I mean, just solid granite. Like, we don't have the spectacular vistas of British Columbia here in Nova Scotia. But even spots like this I just find beautiful. And then to find, you know, like you could build a house here. No foundation needed. It's there, right? You know, a little pile of rocks here like this. You know, I just love this terrain. I love this type of situation. I mean, I'm not in a super remote area. This is just a trail that a lot of hikers use. But there happens to be a good spot. If you're there at the right time, on the right day, there's a good spot for trout, sizable trout, and it's one of the few lake river systems in the province that has yet to be ruined by people introducing smallmouth bass and chain pickerel. I mean, if you like those fish, great, and they're fine, but people introducing them into pristine ancient trout waters, to me, is just irresponsible and destructive, because they always outcompete the trout for everything, and they kill the trout. So you got a beautiful trout system and you introduce those things into it, it ceases to be a trout system. It becomes a chain pickerel and smallmouth bass system. And I guess for catch and release anglers, maybe they don't care, because those things are fun to catch. And they are good eating, but for my money, the trout of those three things, speckled trout, brown trout, sea trout, take your pick, is the better fare, better table fare, better eating. Well, that's gonna be some kind of bad luck. First thing I see when I get here, it's a dead garter snake from the looks of things. I don't know if somebody killed it or something killed it. I can't see an animal killing it and not eating it, because apparently it's an easy meal. So, I don't know. Anyway, we're here. Less than ideal conditions, kind of windy, as you can tell, probably from the microphone. You want flat, calm, and trout rising. That's what you want. But it's a windy place, so it's hard to find. I never know till I get back here if it's going to be windy or not. You just don't know. So all I can do is get working here and see what I can make happen. Well, it's a beautiful spot. Well, what's really good about it is that it's not as windy as the first spot I was at. Caught lots of fish at the spot I was just at, but today I tried all kinds of different flies, tried different spinner lures, just nothing. But here, first cast, I mean, I just used what I had on. Here's my fly here. Just used what I had on, and it's this really simple orange beadhead. It actually had fallen apart and I sort of tied it back together. But it's just an orange beadhead attractor lure. Okay, it's just an orange thing. It doesn't resemble anything in nature whatsoever. But sometimes it can excite the fish. And I caught this nice fat brookie on my first cast here. You see there's a nice spot right here where the water comes down this kind of waterfall, I guess. And there's rocks here and all these suds. And I just cast beyond the suds and slowly worked the lure up. And somewhere in there, he hit. So, yeah, see if I can get a nice meal here today. I haven't got a lot of time left. I got half an hour left before I told my wife I'd head home. So let's see what kind of damage I can do. Well, I mean, check that out. What a spot, eh? I do not want to leave, but I am already 15 minutes late from when I said I would leave, and I'm going to be very late because I know there's more trout over there. They're just starting to rise, actually. But anyway, it's time to head home. Look at that. Juniper berries, real juniper berries. That's what they look like. That's what makes your gin taste so good. Anyway, I got this guy, and I got the first one I caught that I showed you guys, just hidden some moss over there. I got to go retrieve it. But it's time to head home. This is such a beautiful spot. I mean, who wants to leave places like this? Isn't this just the story of fishing always, right? You said you'd be home at a certain time, but you don't want to leave because they're just starting to come on, or you've just figured out the riddle to get them to bite. Like, this is a hand-tied piece of crap lure that I made with like garbage, because I just like to, you know, when I haven't tied fly in years, but when I used to tie flies, I had this, you know, fantasy of inventing the greatest fly ever, and this is one such pattern. It's just a bead head with some orange ribbon. I've noticed if you use an orange bobber, the fish will hit the bobber. So I decided to just make like an orange, basically like an orange minnow, like a goldfish, with a little shiny stuff. You can see a little bit of shiny stuff at the tail. I don't know what it's called. And a bead head. A shiny orange thing that's minnow-like in the way it moves. And I don't know why I tried to use this today, but it worked. And I wish I could stay a little longer. Anyway, it's time to call it quits. Tried many different fly patterns today, tried spinning gear, you know, basically like lures and shiny things and that sort of stuff. Didn't have any actual bait today, didn't have any worms or anything. Just going with lures, you know, different types of retractor lures and flies and minnow imitations. And for whatever reason, the orange, fake, tiny goldfish was the thing for these wild, middle of nowhere speckled trout. No idea why they went for it, but sometimes things don't make sense. And for whatever reason, they were in this spot, which is not as windy, and I'm guessing the water is a little bit warmer, so there's more active, you know, insect life and just more action. certainly more action. First cast, caught a fish, right? So anyway, time to head home. I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and until next time, enjoy the outdoors on the cheap. Thanks for watching.